Hey YouTube, as this is Jacques. Today we're going to look at some creative stuff within the Luminar 4. We're just going to play with a couple of things with the creative tab and turn this image of Mariette into something magical. Stay tuned. Two things I want you to remember. One is that I am a Luminar partner. If you guys want to get a deal, check in the description below, depending on whether you're after the release of Luminar or before the deals change. So make sure you check in the description to find out where we are landed. And the second point I wanted to mention to you guys is that when I work with Luminar, I don't use it as a standalone. I really do use it as a plugin. Like, you can use it as a standalone, but I like using it as a plugin because I love using my workflow within Photoshop. So guys, here I am. I'm with this photo right here of Mariette. This is Mariette. She's a great model. She's really cool. We did one session in one day. I got so many images that day, and it was really great. She basically just does what she does, and I just take pictures. So today what I'm going to do is just do a bit of an edit to this photo of her, which is already nay shy of perfect. Her pose is absolutely amazing, but I want to bring a little vibe in it, to a bit of a painting vibe, and I know I can do this within Luminar and have some fun. Let me do a couple of quick edits on this, just real quick. I'm just going to retouch, and we'll probably time-lapse this now. So there it is. There's the edit so far, and now let me just flatten this image. And I flatten that and call this new layer Luminar. Now there's two ways to shoot this out to Luminar. You can go to the layer and convert into a smart object, or you can just flatten the layer and go out into Luminar. Now, I personally think the best thing to do is just to commit to an edit like I do, and then flatten your whole image and play with the new edit that you have right there. So what I want to do with this image is make it look a bit more like a painting. Now, Mariette has done her job. She's definitely done it. Everything's there to make this look like a fresco painting. So let me just go into here. I take the layer that I just flattened. I go filter, Scotland software, Luminar 4. The image opens in Luminar 4. Now I'm going to do a couple of things before I work with the creative tab, just so you guys can see that I'm going to go into skin enhancer. I just love this tool. It's just beautiful. One-stop shop path, and it happens. Now I'll just show you what it looks like before her skin and after. See, it smooths the whole thing out without taking away that sharpness. You can see it a lot in the neck right here. It does a really good job. Depending on how natural you want the person to look, you can pull this slider down and it will mix with the background. But I really do like it here. And in the case that I want to be really creative here, I'm going to boost the hell out of that skin enhancer. There it is. That's done. Let me pull out the preview so you can see that. Now, what we're going to do is go into this tab right here, and this is the creative tab, and it's the thing that brings in different creative styles and looks to your photo. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the top list. Obviously, AI sky replacement I can't do. Sun rays I possibly can do because there is light coming from this side. It's a one-stop button, but for now I will not be doing that. So the first thing I'm going to go into is dramatic. Let's click on that. Go into dramatic, bring this up, and you can see what is already doing to the image. Now, personally, I really do love what it does right off the bat. Now, what it's basically doing is bringing in sort of a high dynamic range feel. So you got to be smooth on this. I'm not a big fan of dynamic range. Within your brightness settings, you have different things you can do. I want to darken this quite a bit, and I do want to saturate my colors a bit. So I'll do that. Now, next thing I'll go into is matte look and the amount. Now, this brings in, it's sort of like the same thing as when you go into fog. Like if I bring in fog, that's what happens. You get like sort of a foggy feel. But what I like about the matte look is that it brings in just a bit. It gives it that sort of faded look, and it fades everything out a bit better. So I really do like matte look a lot. I haven't really found an application for fog at this point in time. If I go into mystical and I push this up, It really, see the glow happening to the photo? The photo gets a bit glowy. And you can also bring that either in the shadows, pull the shadows up, or pull them down. In my case, I want to pull them down. Let's look at what the photo looked like initially. Here's what it looked like initially. And now here's what it looks like now. Everything is very, very, very tasteful within Luminar 4. And I really do like it for that. I really like the software for that. Never been a big fan of doing a ton of edits on my stuff. I mean, I like to do it. I enjoy doing it, but I really do like the idea of just pressing a couple buttons and getting something really cool. I'm going to go into here, color styles, LUT. LUT is a color lookup table. That's what LUT means. Now, basically what it is it's just another sophisticated way of saying filter. So a lot of these are different ways to affect your image. Now you have LUTs within Photoshop, but some of the LUTs here are really, really nice. And I'm just going to go through them really quick so you can see what some of them look like. This is Anaheim, Bakersfield, Long Beach, Los Angeles, Palm Springs, Riverside, San Diego, Santa Barbara. A lot of Canadian, Californian stuff in there. 1960 gives it a little bit of a bleached look to it. Candlelight. Got to give it the time to process when these LUTs they're pretty heavy. Now let's look at that. Now let's look at without, and let's look at with. It's very subtle, but it's really nice. Let's look at what the image looked like before. That's still a nice image, but this just gives it that sort of vibe and a real beautiful look to it. I really, 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 really do like this a lot. Next, you can always put a texture overlay. You can add a texture in there, sort of crackly look to make it look like an old painting. I will not be doing that. I just don't do that stuff. It's not my style. Not my style at all. Glow amount, so you can get a sort of glow. Really gives it that sort of Orton effect. But I'm not going to use that. Film grain can be brought in. And their film grain is nice, but you got to be very subtle with it. I wouldn't go too nuts. You know what? I really like what I see right here so far. I would probably experiment with a couple of LUTs. Like I'd go up to Anaheim and just do this. Give it a bluish feel. Long Beach gives it that green look. Los Angeles and the purple. But for now, we'll leave it on Grace. I just like that. I think I am done, and I think I've done a lot of creative stuff to this image. I will apply this, and it will export back to the layer in Photoshop. Okay, there it is. There's the image. Now, what is really nice is you can always play with your fill opacity and bring that in and blend it in with the actual shot as much as you like. And if you realize that maybe this was too heavy duty and you want to go more subtle, you might want to do something like that. There you go. So I personally really, really like the shot like this. I like the fact that you barely see your legs in the back. Everything about this is just beautiful. You guys, I just wanted to show you how you can be creative within Luminar and be able to edit and do stuff. And it's just not about pressing one button. It's not just a filter program. It is a software you can play with and personalize. You guys, thank you very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget, everybody, keep on making something from nothing.